Hello, gorgeous, and welcome back. This is episode number 69 in the Manifest podcast. My name is Jen Stevens. I'm a holistic manifestation coach, and this podcast is your weekly dose of everything mindset and manifestation. I am here to help inspire you to use your mind to create your very best life in whatever shape or form that might happen to be. Just as a quick aside, my voice is a little bit messed up. I had a cold over the weekend and I am feeling much better now. It definitely wasn't COVID. I had a COVID test, but yeah, my voice might be a little rocky. So for that, please forgive me. So before we get into the episode today, I just wanted to do a little life update. And what I've been thinking about today in particular is grief. I think I mentioned before that over the summer I experienced the loss of somebody, and it's just an interesting thing always when this happens. I mean, of course, there's so much sadness. We rush to label this as a negative thing, but actually when you're feeling grief, what it really is, it's just another expression of love. At least that's what I think it is, because if you didn't love this person, then you wouldn't be having this experience. The thing that I wanted to say about grief, though, is that it's a funny journey because it is so non-linear. When I describe my life to people, I always say it is non-linear. It is not A to B. I am just not that kind of person. And I think that grief is very similar to that. Like, you can be feeling okay about something one day, and then the next day the tiniest little thing will hit you and you will feel that deep sense of loss all over again. So I just wanted to touch on that briefly without getting into the details of the situation, but I know that grief is something that we all experience at some point in life, whether that's grieving over the death of somebody that you know, or maybe it's grieving the loss of a relationship, or maybe even something else that you had in your life, like a job or, something like that. Like, there are so many different ways to grieve. And what I'm just here to say is that it is completely normal for you to be a little bit up and down. It is completely normal to have a wave of emotion that you're constantly experiencing. And I believe that actually that's a lot of how our emotions are. They're waves. They're not just you feel it once and it goes away. So if you're struggling with something, if you are feeling that loss, or if you are in a situation where feelings are coming back that you thought you had already processed, I just want to remind you that you are completely normal. You are human. This is just the way that we all work, and we are all in this beautiful game together. So I hope that helps somebody out there in some way. And to get back to the episode today, I have a really great topic for you. Today, it is 3 reasons why you're not living your dream life. So I'm making this episode in full faith that you will use these tips for your best purpose. So the one thing I want to say at the beginning is I'm not creating this episode to put any fear into you or to make you feel badly about not being exactly where you are in life. Rather, this is a motivational episode that is going to help you to figure out which little piece of this equation that you are missing, because it is really all about us learning how to get out of our own way. And hopefully today's episode will help you to do that. So with that all being said, let's get into it.
Today, I'm going to share with you some of the secrets about why you are not living the life that you want. So before we jump into it, the title sounds a little bit harsh, and I don't want to be super judgmental and tell you that you're a loser for not living your perfect dream life. However, I do want to start a little bit of a fire under your butt and get you a little bit more excited for the things that you can achieve. I see so many beautiful, smart, talented people out there who are full of self-doubt, and they're busy dreaming big and then not really taking any action, and then feeling very self-judgmental and very down about themselves because their life isn't matching up with what they really want. So there really is only one way through this, and that's to figure out where your unique blocks are. So hopefully this video today is going to give you a little taste of what that is so that you can finally get on the other side and become that person that you were really born to be. Okay, the first reason that you are not living the life of your dreams is because your subconscious mind doesn't want you to. I have spoken about this on this channel and inside Recode so many times, but I'm here to talk about it one more time for you. Basically, we all have a huge tug of war between what our conscious mind wants and what our subconscious mind wants. And they're actually not always on the same page. You are basically only aware of your conscious thoughts. So you think like, what possible reason would I ever have to not become a millionaire, or not to have this fabulous relationship, or not to buy this dream house? But your subconscious mind doesn't really want any of that stuff. Your subconscious mind wants to keep you safe. And the way it does that is by trying to keep you exactly the same. This is one of the most important reasons why we find it so hard to make any change in our life. If we don't realize that part of our brain is trapping us, then we'll never probably be able to get on the other side of that. The truth is, sometimes it feels like the world is working against you, or you're just unlucky or cursed or something like that. But what's really happening is that you are self-sabotaging yourself, and that is all your subconscious mind's fault. See, your subconscious mind really just wants you to play small, to not take big action, to not do anything new. So it is going to create a whole bunch of different roadblocks that you are going to fall into that will prevent you from doing what you want. So the first thing to understand is that inside every single one of us is this very large part of us, like 90% of our brain, that isn't actually on board with what we want. This is the reason why inside my Recode Manifestation Academy, we do hypnosis, we do subconscious reprogramming. We take this into account because your subconscious mind right now might not want the things that you want consciously, but there are ways that you can heal and reprogram and get on the other side of that. Me telling you this is not cursing you to be unhappy and unsuccessful forever. Hopefully, I'm inspiring you to do the right sort of action to get both sides of your mind on the same track. Reason number 2, why you don't have the life that you really want is because you are suffering from low self-worth. Again, this is a hard one for a lot of people to wrap their minds around because we've all been shown these images of self-care and self-love that involve things like bubble baths and going on a long walk. And of course, those things are nice and they can definitely be part of your self-care and self-worth routines. But I want you to start to get really clear about what your self-worth is actually like. This is how I want you to do this. You are the bouncer of your life. You are in charge of everything that is in your world. So I want you to start to look around right now and notice, hey, this shitty relationship that I'm in maybe isn't the best for me, or I'm in this job that isn't paying me as much as I want. So why am I still here? Most of us have some area in our life where we are not valuing ourselves. It is really easy to point the finger at, the crappy boyfriend or the cheap boss and tell them that that is why your life sucks right now. But the common denominator is you. And you get to set your standards, your boundaries. You get to set all the rules. And if your rules are too small, that is just showing me evidence that your self-worth is not big enough. The example I always like to use for this is that we can all think of a friend who is consistently dating underneath themselves, would date people that you would never ever date for you, right? We can all think of somebody like this. So while it's really easy for us on the outside to point our finger and be like, why are you putting up with that? In a certain way, in one area or another, we are all doing this to ourselves. We are settling for way less than we actually want and actually deserve. But we've gotten so used to living like this that we think that this is the only reality. Working on your self-worth game is one of the best ways to change your magnetism. And it really is about raising your standards, setting a new lower minimum set point, deciding I will no longer tolerate this level of, disrespect or low pay or whatever it is in your world. You are the one who gets to write the rules. Again, it's too easy to play victim, to blame other people, to be like, oh, woe is me. It is a lot more difficult to do the work to raise your own standards, because sometimes raising your own standards means you have to start all over again, or maybe it means you have to be single for a while, or maybe it means you have to put yourself out there in a big, bold new way. Raising your standards is the only way you get to have the life that you want. You cannot have the life that you want when you are letting in some of the crap that you are putting up with right now. And this is all a self-worth issue. Reason number 3 why you don't have the life that you really want is because you think it's for other people. In this day and age of social media, it is so easy to fall into this trap. So when you open up your Instagram and you see all these beautiful photos of people that are taken on professional shoots, they're all airbrushed, they're, wearing the right outfits and the right lighting and all of that stuff. It can be easy to think that that's just what that person's world looks like. And because my world doesn't look like that, then, I can probably never be that successful entrepreneur or artist or whatever. We tend to think that when we look at people who we admire online, that they are just born with some secret, that they have some sort of advantage that we can never have. But most of the time, that is completely untrue. Behind the scenes, behind the airbrushing, there's probably a lot of hard work, a lot of blood, sweat, and tears, and you cannot discount that. The problem with looking at the world this way, though, is that when we think that there's just some special people out there, we think that we can't be special, therefore we can't have these things. So we don't even go for them. We stop setting the big goals. We stop trying to compete. I mean, not that it's a competition, but we just kind of opt out of that way of living because we think it is just not possible for us. You need to take all of your big, juicy, amazing goals off of that giant pedestal and bring them into your world, because as long as you keep buying into this fantasy that only perfect people or these kinds of people that live in California, people that, I don't know, whatever the thing is for you, as long as you still think that only those kinds of people can have the kind of life that you really want, you are blocking yourself from getting it. You need to remember that you create your rules, you create your results, and you can have anything. If you buy into this fantasy perfectionist thinking, you are just blocking yourself. You are preventing yourself from taking even one step forward. And ultimately, that is doing your life a disservice. You were brought here on this precious, amazing human journey, and you were given these desires, not to torture you, but to lead you forward. And I really suggest that anything that gets in the way of you making progress to that life that you really want, you need to learn how to get on the other side of it. You cannot take no for an answer. You have to get bold and start on the inside and really start to switch up your thinking, your programming, your self-worth, all of it. And that is how you begin to create what you want. So that is it for today. I really hope that this inspired you. I really hope that I have lifted your spirits and made you more excited about going after your goals. I know it can be so easy to give up on yourself or to, get tired and be human and put things on the back burner. So today I'm hoping that I've really ignited that fire under you again so that you can start to take action in whatever way you need to in order to make your dream life happen.
Thank you so much for listening, Starshine. If you love this episode, I'd love it if you do me a favor by leaving a review on iTunes or tagging me in your stories over on Instagram. If you want to learn more with me, I invite you to come over and check out my Manifestation Academy Recode. Recode is where I'm giving you all the tools to manifest anything that you desire, including love, money, and so much more. There's a brand new training every month, an audio library of hypno-manifestations, and so much more. I know this is going to change your life, and I cannot wait to see you inside. Until next time, happy manifestations.